Hello and welcome to the Philomat Show, your weekly roundup of what's new and going on in the modelling world with
Do you know
Squeaky
what?
Chair.
I'm going to change this chair out now. I can change it. It's going to go. I've
Fair
decided. I
enough.
can't cope with it creaking and rattling every time I move. Yeah, I think it's done,
Yes.
this one.
To be honest, mine's having to go as well because I will be on now. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see down there? But I'm down to fabric.
Yes, I can see it just.
And I'm having to use a little area on here.
Oh.
So we're down to that now. I have to say, start off a show completely on a different thing. But I've had this chair now for donkey's years, it feels. And it's still silent. I'll give it its due.
Yeah.
It doesn't click or anything. I don't have any noise from it. And it's still really comfortable, and everything. But unfortunately, there's bits of fabric falling off. And I know what it is. It's the environment we're in with lacquers and things like that. As we know, we've had it before. Like my switch on my microphone crumbled.
Yeah.
Because obviously it gets attacked by everything. And my mouse has like a film over it, which doesn't help after you covered it in lacquer thinners once.
Yes,
but anyway, it still works. But it's one of those things. Your environment for modelling around here, even if we have got extractors running and obviously it's well ventilated here and everything, over time things deteriorate. Probably me. I'll be next. The lumps falling off me. But some of them are self-completing. Like I've got over here, I have to have a bit of tape on my handle here. That's because I was making a box up and I put it onto here and was like, and then cut straight through it. And to be honest, on my other chair, which I've had to move upstairs now, I've got slashes across here where I was cut in a box and gone straight through to the chair, which I did literally about a week after I got it. So I wasn't happy at all.
No.
But it is one of those things. I will say, we often talk about, or I get people often say to me, like, what airbrush would you get? What would you do? Everything else like that. Honestly, the first thing you need is a comfy chair. Because you sat here a long time, and not that I go on about it much, but I suffer really bad from back problems and everything else like that, and obviously with sciatica. And to be honest, this chair here, although it's not brilliant, it's a gaming chair, and these stupid lumps here are a pain because you can't get your arm. So if I need to turn around and get anything, you can't because they're in the way. But for lumbar support and back and posture, it's the best chair I've ever had. Easily. So I will be going through it. If anyone's got any recommendations for me and Matt then for new silent chairs that are comfy and don't dissolve with lacquer paints.
Yes,
but I can't have a fabric one. I know because the fabric one would be even worse because I was get crap all over it. It would go horrible. It needs to be wiped clean.
Yes. Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, absolutely. To be fair, like the arms have wore out where it's been catching under the desk on this side, and like I say, it creaks and rattles and bangs. I mean, this was just off Amazon. I mean, it's a couple of years old, if not a bit longer now, 2 or 3 years old. So it for what it cost off Amazon, it's actually lasted all right. But I'm definitely in need of a new, more comfy.
Because this is a DX racer. The other one I used to have on that one is a GT racer, I think it is. Different company. It's a little bit cheaper, that one, to be honest. This one was expensive. I think it was like 400 quid. This is the Formula, whatever it was called. But they don't make this one anymore. I know that because a lot of people have said to me, what was yours? And I told them that I don't make it anymore. It's obviously been superseded. But I will say, if anybody's got a recommendation for a good hobby chair, as opposed to a gaming chair, it's got to be a couple of things. One, it's got to be silent, because otherwise you end up sounding like Matt.
Yeah.
All right. Secondly, it's got to have good lumbar support and properly, for your back and everything else. Or definitely for me on that one as well. What it looks like is irrelevant because I'm normally sat on it. Yeah. And again, originally when I was here, I did have colour coordination. The colour scheme was black and red, but we sort of moved away from that a little bit now. So, but anyway, so it doesn't really matter for colour. But if you have got a recommendation, honestly, you know me, I'm totally open to any suggestions. And so let us know in the comments down below what chair you've been using. Obviously, somebody's got a bit of history with it. You've had it for a couple of years and things like that. It'll be up, obviously well. And I'll have a look at getting a new one because, as you say, this is a beautiful chair. It's very comfy, but it's starting to fall apart on me. So we need to do so. And Matt needs it just to stop him creaking.
I think, to be honest as well, that they've been well used, haven't they? Yours more than mine, to be honest. That's lasted you how many years you've had that?
Well, it used to be the thing. If you remember, if you go back now, this chair's got to be
5, 6?
More than that now, yeah, definitely. I'm more like 7 or 8, I think.
Probably, probably is.
So, and I used to make a joke in the old days is that chairs used to last me 1 year.
Yeah.
and then the bearings would go, or it would just get so uncomfortable. But normally it's noise, or like when you rotate it, it's like clunk, clunk, clunk. Or you do this thing where it knocks, you lean back and forth and it goes clunk, clunk, clunk. This thing's never done that. And but that's the other thing that used to wind me up, because you sit there and you find yourself doing this anyway, and it's like you can hear it. But this chair, honestly, from a build quality point of view, is absolutely fantastic. In fact, what I might do is just take it off the bottom and put the new one on this base, because clearly the base is really, really good. But the old ones always used to break after a certain amount of time. Normally about a year they would give up and break and things like that. But this one, again, we often talk about, okay, this chair, I think at the time was something like 350 quid. It was on a discount, should have been 400, which obviously this is going back, as we said, like 8 years now. It was a lot of money, but it served me for sort of 8 years. So I think that's money well spent, really, at the end of the day. And again, especially when you talk about the amount of time we sit on them, especially when we're doing live stuff throughout an entire weekend and stuff like that, literally you're permanently sat here. You do need something a little bit more comfy. So I can testify. Good quality chair. I'm not quite to the thing of being like Google and sitting on a beach ball or a birthing ball, or whatever they do in there. And I must admit,
critical part with it, photo etch, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's it. But again, the other one was funny. I was offered a sponsorship deal from a company who does like a stand-up workbench, and it's one of these electric ones for various heights. And they offered to give me one for free. They're top of the range, all the rest of it, and it was a hell of a lot of money as well. And it was like, we will do you a 1 year sponsorship deal. You keep it, but you've got to advertise it for 1 year. We give you the full thing, and then obviously your members can have a discount code and all the rest of it. How? Where would I do it? I'd have to cut this out and put it in here, and literally here I am. And they were saying about obviously for standing up and working. But as I pointed out, I'm in my 50s. I don't want to be stood up working. I want to be sat down nice and comfy with my magnifiers on and just like this. So my days of standing up and doing it have long gone.
The other thing is as well, though, isn't it? Even if you did have one, it's like you'd have to rearrange the whole room for cameras.
Yes, just for that. Yeah, absolutely. And you'd have to bolt, obviously, then the audio and the cameras to this table so it goes up and down with you.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'd have to reset them every time you do it and stuff like that. And it was like, that would be horrendous.
That would be a pain in the backside, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, if you have got representations, please write them down below with a link preferably, and I'll go off and have a look. And then obviously if I do go for one, whoever pointed it out, I'll send them something as a thank you for a good recommendation and stuff like that. So cool job. Very nice. Anyway, how's you, Matt? How's things been going? What you been up to?
I'm very well, actually, apart from the weather's changed from beautiful sunny weather to drizzle.
Drizzle, that's it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Summer's ended already.
Yeah, summer's gone.
So today, I've mostly been weathering this.
Looks very nice indeed.
Well, I've been weathering a wing.
Right.
So I've just started on that. So started with, obviously, the Flurry products, as you do.
Bit of dust, yeah.
Had a bit of black as well in there, a bit of dark virgin grime, the 4 primaries for me when it comes to weathering. That started off with that, and then I've moved on to the oil palette after. So there's my little oil palette. So we've got a bit of black and white, neutral grey, a couple of blues on there, sepia, dust, and I think that's dark mud. It is dark mud. And that's my palette that I've been using just to weather it out. So we're getting there, to be honest. I did a bit of pre-fading with the airbrush, and that there is just a dust mix from Tamiya, just to stop the exhaust streaking. But yeah, I've got some nice reference photos. Chris sent me a really nice reference photo that I've been using, because weathering black's always a bit awkward, and I'm not one to just stick a light wash on it. I'm just not into that at all. So I want to sort of break it up in a different way. So, like, 1,000 shades of grey and black, really. But yeah, I think it's coming along all right, to be honest. Pleased. Nice.
So you ended up having to paint on the walkways?
That's Tamiya tape.
So right, nice. Yeah.
That is actually Tamiya tape.
So you've actually just done Tamiya tape and stuck it onto it?
Painted it red and
cut it
to shape with an Infini board.
Yeah.
And cut it on. To be honest, I could actually remask round that.
Yeah.
And use it, and then rip this off and have the proper
mask. And then
mask
put the paint in. Yeah.
And then paint in between. So positive and negative mask, which I still might do. Because what I was trying to do, which I failed dismally, if I'm honest, I photocopied a Hobby Boss decal sheet. And my plan was to obviously cut out, get a scalpel, which I tried. It just wasn't happening, to be perfectly honest. This isn't the right paper. This is, I needed some photo paper, I think, with a sheen on it. So this weren't really the right paper. But then I thought, well, why don't you just make it out of tape? Do you know what I mean? And actually, in this scale, you could probably.
I was going to say, you wouldn't know. No, you would never know that.
Obviously, feel a ridge because it's tape.
Yeah.
You can if you look up close, or you could, I can't know if you'll see it on camera, but
yeah.
But like I say, with all the weathering as well, I could probably peel that off and remask it. So we will see. We will see how it goes. But I'm quite happy with how this has turned out to be. So I'm really enjoying it. Having a bit of fun, and now we're on to the weathering bit as well.
Yeah, fun bit
in it. So I've not touched underneath yet. Look, that's nice and clean.
The before and after.
So yeah, you'll see. But yeah, just start one wing at a time, and then I'll run through that, and then I know where I'm at for when I do the rest of it. So
very nice. When are we likely to see part 2?
Next week, probably. I don't think I'll have enough this week yet. I don't know yet. Probably next week. I think, to be honest, it'll probably see it finished. So the other thing I've been doing is the wheels are done. So that's just your wash.
Very nice.
Grime and dust. I think a bit of dark dirt in there. So the wheels are all done. The front wheel's done, whichever one I pick to do. Obviously, I need to weather the flaps and stuff. And then I've done the inside as well.
Very nice.
Definitely getting there with it.
Coming along. Really nice. Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I've
So just for people asking, that's the 72nd scale dragging kit.
It's a dragging kit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2-in-1 version, but obviously this is the, they do the A and the B, don't they? I think that was it.
Yeah.
So I'm itching to take the masking off the Canon clear parts just to see what they look like.
Yeah,
but
what
I am being good.
To be honest with you, it's one of those things with the black work, it looks really good because it gives it a little bit of light to come through with it. And I think that's the thing, is that the nice thing when you do, I remember doing like the Lancasters and stuff, they don't look much, but when you take the masking off and the framework comes through and you can get that little bit of light showing through and stuff like that, they really come to life. And black aircraft especially, because they look even better with it coming through. So yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Very good. But cool. Right. Okay. So with me, I've been, where are we? Here we go. I've been working on the Apache. So down in here, you probably saw some of this on Friday, but there's a few more bits been added. What I'm trying to do is cheat in a lot of ways. So I've actually been going around now and we've been putting on all the aerials and all the little bits. So these are just tacked in place at the moment. Just to close up, and then obviously we'll open them up for when it's on display. All right. I haven't put the chaff and flare buckets on yet because, clearly they'll be done separate colours. But anything else that roughly is going to be the same colour down in here, we've done, and everything else that has got big areas. Now, one of the nice things with this kit is these aerials have got huge, big tabs that lock in place and go in there, no problem with it. So I thought, you know what? What I don't want to do is have glue marks in there, especially with the coat, and as you'll see in a moment, some of the weathering effects we're going to go with. We don't want it to be sort of looking a bit like an afterthought with things put on. So I've decided to put pretty much everything on this now as we make our way through. So to be honest with you, I've made a little bit of a hash down in here on the actual tail. You can see the photo edge. This one's got a little bit of a kink in it. It looks like I've reversed it into something. But I think by the time it's got paint on it, you're not really going to notice. But with the shine of the metal, you can see it's not laying. So this side is obviously facing upwards. This one's facing down. All right. So they're in there just like that. That's going on. But it has got some beautiful tiny details. So for instance, if I get this camera to lock in, come on, camera. There we go. Little bits like this little tiny guy here. That's that in there as well. So it has got tiny bits. The only thing I said to Matt, one of the things with this kit is, and it's, it's not a takeaway from the kit, but these little areas going in, like these are step ups and grab handles down in here. When you try and fit them, the tolerance is so close. I mean, it's proper, it is where it touches. My worry is when you're trying to poke something this through, and obviously it's a bit delicate, if it doesn't want to go and you overdo it, you're just going to break it or you're going to bend it. All right. So actually what I did was I just got a tiny little reamer here and I've gone one tiny size up, like a 0.1 millimeter bigger, and I've redone all the holes pretty much on this. So they just go in there. And then once they go in, I just leave them in place and then a touch of extra thin onto the aerials, and then it fits them down in there. But some of them are really, really fiddly, like this little guy just down in here. Literally, that's two down in this one down in here, and obviously with these little aerials, and there's a few more to go on as well, but I'm thinking, look, they're all going to be roughly the same color, so we want to get them all in there. But the wire strike protection system as well, that has all been put on and it's all ready to go. And obviously this down the tail wheel is a little bit complicated with the way this all goes. All right, so that's all in there, but generally it's coming together very, very nicely. All right, so we got that one down in there, and then at the same time I've got a little tub of bits down in here of everything else. So what I've been doing is, we've done, obviously the gun is all done and mounted onto the actual thing. It does all traverse and works and everything else, which is quite nice. We've done the little tad optics, and we've got those done. And again, the whole point of this is it's pre-painted, so then all I've got to do is add the glass afterwards. All right, but I haven't done it yet, just in case, because I need to mat some of this down. So I might just a little bit of tape over this, mat this area down. This obviously needs to have the little glass work painted black, things on there. Same goes with the night vision stuff. That's in. There's your doors. They're sort of done and all weathered up, ready to go. And then even down to this little guy, you've got these parts on the inside with these ones, which are going to go on the outside. So I think by the time they're painted, a little bit of dry brushing, a little bit of an oil wash into these grills, it'll look very, very nice. Right the way through to these ones. So you've got the little sway braces that you have to put in and do them. Here they are, they're over here, you can see, just to make up the details around the actual pylons so that it go through. But you might notice I had a bit of an accident. You see this here? This is one of these things, kids. If you do what I did, and I took this out of the holder, I even sell a frigging holder for God's sake, but I took it out of the holder, put it down like this, working on something, and I was down in here and like, and I did the usual, and I went, and then yeah, I dumped it all over here, and you can probably see how far it went. But what I did was, it's literally this area here, I did what everybody should do: don't touch it. Literally, if you come in and wipe it, you'll go straight the way through and you'll lose all your pattern and everything will go. All right, so what you need to do is have a little bit of faith and literally open up your windows, and like I did, hit the extractor and leave it, because you're not going to mop it up and get it back in here. There's no point. All right, so literally all I did was leave it sat here all afternoon, and it sort of self-vented itself off. And you can probably see down in here, some of it did blister up, and this is obviously where you've scored and cut the mat, but it really blistered here. But now it's dry, it's shrunk back and gone down. There's a couple of them haven't, but literally leave it and it will go back down. But like everybody, your first that reaction is to go, oh shit, quick, and literally do that. But as soon as you do that, it will go green and you've lost your cutting mat. And also the thing is, when you drag it across, all the bits that have got cuts in, you'll rip them up as well, and you'll end up with big chunks and you'll get black cutting mat through it and all the rest of it. But if you leave it and say open up, vent your room, because it will stink to high heaven, and literally leave it, and you can come back, and we've pretty much saved it. So yeah, I need a new one. And to be honest, I'm not being tight, but I have got a brand new one underneath here, which is what I use for the reviews. And then I normally have a rough cut on one on here for general working and stuff like that. But yes, it's one of those. But highly recommend, always keep them in your holder. We sell these, PM does them, and obviously you've got a Flory Models version as well. And that way it'll stop that from happening, because you can't knock it over when it's in one of those. But it's one of those ones where I haven't done it for years. Literally, in fact, it's got to be good 5-6 years, because to be honest, I've been using one of these ones. I was given the display one, so I've been using that. And it's never happened. At one time, I thought, oh, just because I need it, I'll just put it here, and I'm doing little delicate work. And literally, I was like that, and just go, and you're like, yeah, that's it. But I know we all do it, and it's one of those things just to prove that it's not just you guys at home. I do it as well. So yes,
it's
never mind.
Done, isn't it?
Easily done.
And it's normally done with micro set as well, isn't it? Stinking.
Yeah.
That's another one that gets knocked over, and oh god, I don't like that.
Because you've got a thing about vinegar. Yeah, definitely. Right. But yeah, we do, and say PM's got them in their store as well, the micro set and toll holders. I've always said the reason they have them in these bottles is because they're just waiting to knock them over. You've got to buy another one.
Yeah. It is, yeah. It is.
Yeah, they just do it because they know you're going to have to buy another one and do it that way. So yes, but never mind. Anyway, we had a part of this one. I think it's part 6. Went up yesterday for the Apache for members. That's up there now. Obviously, you're bang up to date to where I am as well. So I'll get another part of you obviously going through this one. I'm really hopeful by the end of the week we'll be in primer and making our way through on this one. So yeah, good job on that. So really, really nice kit. Matt, you're going to love it. It'll be fine.
I will when I get round to doing it. Do you know what? I want to talk about something today. You know, I've been doing bits and bobs on it, but you know what? I'm really struggling to get into it. I really am struggling to get going on it. Do you know what I mean? I think once I'm there, I'm okay. But at the minute, some kits, like we've said before, you're just into it straight away, aren't you? And then some are slow burners, and it just takes a bit of time to get your flow going and stuff. And that's one for me. I think because I've been doing this, and there's a lot of other stuff going off in the background at the minute as well. It's just getting the mindset to get there to do it. You know what I mean? Get in and do it properly. So I am going to be a little bit behind you, but it will be done. I will get it done. But yeah.
No, nice. I think that with this one as well, there's quite a bit of work around the cockpit.
Yeah.
And then once you get that done and the quintersets into it, and then as soon as you get it buttoned up and into this, the rest of it is literally just quite straightforward. If you're doing it via like steps of like, because most of them tend to be on the same page, you know, into the steps of doing it, it's actually a delight. And you work your way through really, really quickly, like I did, because we went from doing the cockpit to that within a week. And I could have carried on, and I had to take a break from this to do the Y-wings. I needed the Y-wing out of the way. So that's why I literally took 2 weeks off of this one to finish the Y-wing kit and get that one done. But again, it's a really, really nice kit, and it goes together well. So, you know, it's one of those ones where once you get into the step of it, and like now, I was doing quite fiddly work of all the aerials on it yesterday afternoon and stuff. And, you know, it's a bit time consuming, especially because you've got to open up the holes and cleaning up the parts and things. But again, it was a joy to do it, just going through and then clip them all in, glue it all in, and away we go. So, as I say, I've just got over there a couple of bits which I've sort of forgot to do, which was colour the inside of the doors, for instance. I need to get the doors onto it and closed up for painting and stuff. So I've got to do that one. And then again, I've got the electronics bays on the side here, the ones that go in here. They're all over there ready to be pre-painted and done, and we can get those in. And then we can just close this thing all up and it's ready for paint then. So we'll get in and say we can just go through with the colour scheme onto it. So, and that's it. One thing I will show you is a photo which I thought, do you know what? I could do this. Inspiration. Yeah, we'll talk about, hold on, before I show you, I'll hold it back. It's like, it's one of those ones. Sometimes what I tend to do, like loads of, I've got loads of books, don't get me wrong, I've got loads of reference books, and all the rest of it, and they're great. But sometimes you'll see a particular aircraft in a picture online, and you're like, okay, that's telling a story. That's a really cool. I'm not saying I'm going to do quite to this extent, but I saw this. So yes, as you can see, absolutely hanging. And again, I'm pretty sure what they may have done is done an engine washout here. And it's obviously, this is why this area is a little bit clean. But this stuff on the tail, how gnarly this is. I take it it's just come back from Afghanistan or something else like that.
So.
It's absolutely hanging. It's been somewhere very, very rough, as you can see. But yeah, it's just one of those ones where I saw it and thought, do you know what? That would be great. Because you could do like literally go to town onto it, fading it right back, plenty of post shading, and then getting in there with washes, especially like the dust wash and sand wash, things like that, and go to town and then get in there with the oils, and then obviously come back with the original colour to do the touch-in and oil work and things like that with oils and washes. So yeah, I did think, yeah, go. But the trouble is, if you did that as a model and put that out, everyone would go, well, that's not very realistic. You know,
so there's a picture proof.
It's a proof, so that's what I do. It's a bit like, I remember when I did the UH60 or the HH60. Sorry, I did the Navy one. Everyone said, "Well, that's very clean." I've got a photo. So it was. I was showing people, and I had the photo next to it to show it that it's literally exactly as it is. But if you look at the Black Hawk behind it, nice and clean.
That's the problem. Because I've got my Black Hawk here, because I forgot to show you, and they're really clean. And I need, if anybody's got any inspirational photos of a filthy Black Hawk or a bit worn, post them up, because I need some inspiration for my little Asagowan I've been doing. So please,
definitely. So yeah, there we go. Get links, put links down below, and we can have a look then. But no, I saw this one and I thought, oh yeah, I could properly go to town on this one. You know, I'll go right the way through it and that. But again, probably a little bit over the top, but it just shows you the different styles of weathering and how they pick up the grime and stuff like that. And it's a walk around series that I've got off of the net. So, but yeah, very, very nice. I thought it's one of those ones where you're thinking, shall I, shan't I? I don't know. Let us know down in below if you want to see something like that. I'm sure we can go for it. Get enough people say do it.
Do it.
We can go through. Do it. Anyway, lots of things happening at the moment. Matt sent me down, which we spoke about last week, which is this little gem, which is the Royal Class P51B. It's the dual combo set. So we got two P51 Bs in the kit as well. You get a little bit of goodies as well. We get a poster down in here. I think we get the pin badge, foam, whatever they are, what they call them, inserts, masks, whatever they are for the wheel wells.
Oh, yeah.
Those weird things. So we got those as well with it. Anyway, I'm going to do the review of this one tomorrow. Members, you'll probably get it tomorrow night. The rest of you guys will probably get it on Friday as well for that particular kit. But it looks very, very nice indeed. But the packaging's crap. Sorry, not very good.
Let's just say, I think the box itself is definitely not what they used to be as in Royal Class boxes. It seems a lot more flimsy, and let's just say I've had a lot of restapling to do before they've been sent out. Yeah, and you've got a damaged one because it's ripped. It's that.
Yeah, my one's got a small rip in it.
Got a small rip in it because we can't send that to a customer. But yeah, and they used to be really quite glossy or had a sheen on them. I think they're not anymore. So it'd be interesting, obviously.
Also, I remember with the Royal Class ones, it used to be that thing. I'll just do a little thing here just to show. Hold on, let me move the Apache. But it used to be, when we used to, have these boxings of them, but it used to be like an iPhone unboxing, But now, as you say, the boxes are a little bit rubbish and they're just sort of chucked in here, as you say, you get the pin badge and that, and there's obviously the box with the bits in there. But it's not. If I remember, the old ones were a little bit more sort of. It was a nice sort of presentation with the Royal Class stuff, anyway.
Well, you're paying
rather
for it,
than these are. Because you are, yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you what. If anybody's got any original Royal Class from 10 years ago, and you've still got them in the box, take us a picture and post it because I want to see if what's changed.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
But I don't know. It just doesn't feel as nice, and like I said before, I think with the Royal Class stuff, it was always that thing. It was a little bit special. It was a bit nice when you got it, and obviously not even funny. Obviously, I know the markets are changing and everything else. Yeah. I know there's lots of complaints about some of the things that you used to get in them. But, we used to get the glasses, the tankards and the engraved stuff. It was always quite nice, and the various things. But the packaging was always very, very nice with these kits as well. But it just feels like it's just a normal kit, just with a Royal Class name on it these days. You seem to have lost that sort of little bit for it.
For me, the Royal Classes were for collectors, weren't they? Not for builders.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
The nice pristine box and the stuff you got in it was a collector's item. I think that's probably how they were marketed in the first place, a Royal Class, rather than actually, for people to build them, which seems a bit daft for a model kit. But I don't know. I think, like I say, they've dropped it a little bit. I think, in what you're getting now, not in the box, but the actual presentation. I say them boxes aren't very good at all, to be honest. I think there's a bit of definitely a downshift in the quality of the boxes, 100%. Like I say, I've had to get the stapler out and fix a load of them because it just popped. The staples had popped on the edges. So, yes. But
not detracting from the kit inside. I have to say the kit inside looks absolutely lovely. And I do like the B. I know, obviously, I get slated for most things I say, but I really like the B.
I like the B. Well. It's like the Razorback P47. I like that.
Over that's it. The bowl,
Yeah.
But I do like it. And again, there's some absolutely stonking markings in here. Again, I'll do the full review for you if you haven't seen it anyway. So that'll be out for the non-members on Friday. But yeah, kit itself and the bits inside, beautiful. No problem at all. I'm not slating them. I just think the boxes and the whole point of being a collector's kit is that it's just that little bit. It's what you're paying for at the end of the day, So, but very nice though. Inside.
I actually think, the D-Day boxing that we had, the dual combo D-Day boxing, the box was a better quality than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because we've had a few guys who pre-ordered it who said both. So again, let us know, because I'm sure when I was packing it felt a better box. I didn't have to repair any, put it that way, before they got sent. So I think it's a better quality box than that one. So again, let us know in your comments. It'd be good. Bit of feedback.
Definitely. We like all of that.
We need some.
Other things that are going on. Clearly, Mr. President. So Magic Factory have done the Ukrainian Prime Minister, but from his acting days.
Yeah. I
don't know what the programme was called in the actual thing he did before he became...
On the bump below it, where we got it from. It just,
Yeah.
I thought he was a child.
Mr. Zelensky.
Comedy actor or whatever he was.
Yeah, so did I. I thought he was more of a comedy actor. So I remember when he came into power.
Kids TV program or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but.
Yeah. But I remember when he came into power, everyone was sort of laughing, saying, Jesus Christ, and all the rest of it. And, not being funny. Talk about thrown in the deep end.
Hey, a US can't laugh. They used to have Ronald Reagan.
Well, yeah, this is it. Yeah, Ronnie Reagan.
Yeah. Prime actor back in the day, wasn't he?
He was, yes, definitely.
Yeah, so.
I know.
Yeah,
those were the good days with him and Maggie.
Yeah, God.
Putting the world to rights.
Would you say that? Would you?
Hey, I don't know. I know. It's one of those things. But I know I get outspoken and slated for a lot I say. But if you look at the difference that those two made, and I know in England, Margaret Thatcher was a little bit Marmite. Let's face it. If you're from the north, you probably don't like her. But if you're in the south, everyone bought their council house. It was brilliant. But anyway, it is that thing. If you look at what they did at that time in the world, obviously ending the Cold War, basically, and things like that, and, the Falklands, take no crap. What I'm saying is, let's face it, we had two presidents. I will say president, because Margaret Thatcher literally was, rather than a prime minister. They took no crap, face it. That was the way of dealing with it. I'm not being funny. Ronald Reagan, he was with Libya, wasn't it? What are we going to do? I tell you what, I should go bomb them. You're going to around with us, we're going to come back and smack you around the face. And we used to do, nowadays, can't do that. Why not? Because you can't. What you can do about it? Because you're going to upset someone, But back in those days, it wasn't really a problem. I'm not saying the world's completely woke.
Politics now, mate.
Politics now is a bit.
We don't do politics on this show, so we do.
It's like you can't go to war because there could be a butterfly there, and it's its home. I'm surprised they haven't pulled that one yet in certain parts of the world. Have you seen there's a beetle that lives there? You cannot go to war because the beetle, You're
getting like a Ricky Gervais moment, you are.
I know it is now. I could do that. I know. I have to watch myself. I'm going to do a late night show, and I will give you my full spill on it.
Oh God!
But that's it. Half the membership will leave, and we'll gain another half. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my view to it all. Anyway, if you did want something a little bit different, if you wanted Mr. Zelensky, obviously there you go. Magic Factory's got you covered. Because I must admit, when I first saw it, I thought it was Scarface. The way it's got an
Do you know what? I can see that bit of Al Pacino somewhere.
Yeah, I know. That's because obviously I only saw a little thumbnail originally, and I saw that, and I thought, oh, okay. So yes,
he's a man in a roll neck.
Yeah, definitely. About the new things as well. So one of my big bugbears, to be honest, I did mention it, and I got slated by the certain people because it didn't have an engine. The Qatari Spitfire didn't have an engine, and I was thinking, they've gone to all that effort, and it's a beautiful kit. I'm not, saying about the kit; it was lovely, but when you're talking about the money, there was other options out there that came with an engine and various bits and pieces. Anyway, it turns out now you can get a 3D printed engine for the Qatari Spitfire, or you will be able to get. In the near future, and this one does have Rolls-Royce, as you can see on it. This is the only picture we've got so far of this one.
Think it says.
Well, yeah, it might say Royce of Rolls on it or something.
It could be Rolls-Royce or something.
Yeah, Rolls-Royce. They'll get round the problem with Rolls-Royce wanting their £1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Rolls. That's what they'll call it. On that one. So, but again, if you want a nice simple plug-in replacement into the Qatari Spitfire, then that's obviously where you're going to go with that one, isn't it? So
I'm differing for your opinion on the actual Qatari Spitfire. I think it should come with an engine. I think they went to all that effort and detail to do it, and then missed probably the most crucial part of a Spitfire out, which is a Merlin engine.
Yes.
That's
again, we can go on a bit of a mini rant because hey, why not? But my point is that why wouldn't you do then two versions of the kit? We know they've done multiple versions of that kit now. Let's face it, they get their money's worth out of the Mark 1. So why didn't they just do the normal ones they've done so far, or they do another version that comes with the engine? So, because I know at the time I got a lot of people saying about, well, I don't want to do an engine and I'm paying for something I'm not going to do. And I get that. So why don't you just do a bit like, obviously we've seen, Mini Op think, say, theirs is a bit weird the way they did theirs. But if Mini Art had done one with a full engine and without, and perhaps with other details, then obviously it does give then the modeler the opportunity to get it all in one box and just say, right, let's go for it. You know, even if you've got to do a bit of surgery yourself, like cut the front end off, but at least you got all the bits in the box which are designed specifically for that kit. So hopefully you think they'd fit.
I think a radial's a bit different to an inline though, isn't it? As in, you're going to see a radial engine, aren't you? You've got to see
you can see it no matter what.
Whether it's not a full job lot, you're going to see all the front anyway, pretty much, aren't you? Behind the propeller, where obviously an inline is pretty covered up anyway.
It's all hidden. Yes. Yeah.
I'm with you with that. Again, you know, a few companies are now doing the like, I suppose, like an interior kit on the tank or the non-interior kit, depending. You know what I mean? You get a choice. And I agree with you a little bit with that. I think they missed a little bit of a trick, because a lot of people are moaning, well, you know, you've a bit more money, you can get a Tamiya one with a full engine and all the other bits. Not much of a comparison between Qatari and Tamiya. Completely different companies on a completely different trajectory of where they're at and how much money in budgets and stuff. So that's not a fair comparison. But as a Mark 1 Spitfire goes, there's not much competition in 32nd.
No.
Is there? You know what I mean? No. Is the one? the thing.
Revell did one, didn't they? Didn't Revell do a Mark 1?
Was that a Mark 1 or a Mark 2?
I don't know. Actually, might have been a Mark 2.
Well, anyway, irrelevant. They kind of got the market of a Mark 1 in 32nd. So why not make the most of it? I think, to be honest with you, you know what the problem is? It came. How old's that kit now? 3 years old? 2 years old?
2 years old now.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Well, 3D printing then, what it is now.
Oh, compared to now, yeah, definitely.
So I wonder if they redid it now, they'd do that. What you could get,
because what done now,
for somebody you're CADing anyway when you're designing the kit. So why not? And then 3D print an engine to plug it in, which again from other companies could possibly go down that route as well.
Yes,
you know, I don't think there's not the excuse now of not adding stuff. I mean, Edward have jumped on it pretty much, haven't they, with their 3D printing stuff. Yeah. So again, why aren't the other major manufacturers doing the same? Because then you're just cutting out. I was having a conversation with remember the this is completely different, but the automotive hot hatch brigade, right? The max power mob.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s and stuff, you don't get it anymore, do you?
No.
Reason being is because the like Ford and whoever, GM or whoever, cottoned onto it, and they do that. So you just go off and buy one off the shelf. You know what I mean? You can buy your Super Ford Transit van or whatever if you're in the UK, the custom, where before you were modding it and doing it. So why aren't the major manufacturers doing that now with 3D printing?
Yeah, no, I get it totally. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
I know where that conversation would probably didn't come out how it was in my head, but you know where I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
And again, Qatari would have been a good example of it. Like you say, you've got your standard version without the engine, happy days. You can just build it out that way, or you know, if you do want to show the lovely Merlin engine, there's the thing with it as comes in a different package. You know, Edward do it all the time, don't they? From a weekend.
Oh yeah, of course they do. Yeah, definitely.
Don't know. Anyway,
I think it's a good way of kit manufacturers just to open up their market a little bit to give what modelers want. You know, and like you're saying, the big thing is that if you've got, like obviously Edward do, is that their what do they call it, space sets, isn't it? Their 3D printed stuff is all designed and CADed around their own kit, so they they know it's going to fit. And it's going to go in, and they always are drop-in replacement parts, no problem at all. So a bit like that Qatari Spitfire, if it is specifically designed for that kit from the ground up, as in it's always been designed for it, you know it's going to be a simple cut the panel lines exactly where they are, and it's going to be a drop-in replacement bit. It's going to be a no-brainer, you know, to actually get it in there. It's going to be a simple job of upgrading it. And going through, and you could offer that as a separate kit a little bit further down the line, or if they wanted to, you could advertise it like they do with space sets as an aftermarket bit if you want to buy it. Because obviously one of the big things we've seen with Edward over the last 2 years now is that you always get on the back of the instructions everything that's available, isn't it, for that one? I know when I did the weekend edition of the Tempest.
Yeah.
But on the instructions, you could also have this, and it's the engine, the flaps, and all the brazing, all the photo etch, and everything else that goes for that particular kit. If you wanted to throw everything at it, but it gives you a nice option, and you know full well, and it certainly did with that kit. It's literally just cut and shut. You know, there's no fiddling around with it. It just fits.
Just why my brain's ticking over. I think you forget how far ahead of the curve Edward was back in the day when they started doing trophy packs with a bit of photo etch and a mask set. That was pretty much it, weren't it?
Yeah.
But nobody else was doing it.
No.
Or even considered doing it. You know what I mean? And then obviously they've moved on to the brassing and the space, and they've always kind of kept up with technology.
Yes, yes, they've always been in amongst it
in the kits, which nobody else has ever done. Not to my knowledge. Not that I can think to their consistency anyway. You know, even the likes of Tamiya, you know, who you'd think, you know, leader of whatever it was, or used to be, shall we say, in the modelling world, which were always ahead of the curve, weren't they, with moulding technology and blah, blah, blah. But again, they proper dropped the ball, really, because they could have been, you know, really on it with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that was my big bugbear with Tamiya, and I know when I've done Tamiya reviews in the past, and I get a lot of hate, shall we say, and flame for, they're not, you know, and purely because Tamiya, to me, from the 90s, 2000s, even 2010, they were always innovating the modelling thing. So again, I remember when the Spitfire kit came out, or was it the Mustang? But again, they did it at like 0.2 millimeters thick injection molded parts. So they were to scale for panels and things. Never seen that before. You know, and we'd seen things. I remember when they did the Mosquito, for instance, the way that the tyre tread went on was like jigsaw, no seam lines, and it was completely hidden. And very, very clever way of doing it. And again, we'd seen various all the time coming through with them. If you got, especially their bigger kits, but also it worked for the smaller kits as well, 48 scale. But there will always be something new, something just never been seen before or something else. So they were innovating all the way through. But recently we've seen nothing. You know, and I know they've played safe. Yeah, they've played that thing. And I know we've seen some beautiful kits. Don't get me wrong. I've had a Tomcat kit. Yeah, it's a complex aircraft. It's usually a nightmare to go together. If you built the Hasegawa kit, you'll know what I mean. You know, Tamiya one came along and suddenly actually doing a Tomcat's a dream. It just click and fit. It's just very clever how it goes together. And also with the Phantom, you know, and again, I've done other, you know, high-end kits of it, like the Zukamori kit and things like that. But to be honest, the Tamiya one is just a dream kit. It is. And it was nice to have those kits back from Tamiya where it's a no-brainer. You know it's going to go together well, and it's been pushing through. But really, you know, we haven't really seen anything over the last few years from them that's just taken it up to that new level, you know, and gone through. And let's face it, we had Suzuka last week, and that was a bit of a flop all round.
Well, again, there wasn't much release there. Was any exciting for anybody, was there? I suppose it's like I say, I think it's just, I suppose the world as it is at the minute, but... You know, going back to, I mean, you can never fault their engineering. Their engineering is just top drawer. You know, that's never an issue, is it? Or the mold qualities or anything like that. That's never an issue. It's just, I say, as time's moving on and obviously other things are coming, you know, on the marketplace, shall we say, i.e., as we keep going on 3D printing, is you'd think some of the manufacturers, where Edward always do, they're always embracing it and let's, you know, and like you said, if it's designed for their kit, if they've designed it for their kit, no, you know, it will fit. Because their brassing, their resin fits really well, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
You know, and you know, notorious aftermarket resin is for not fitting.
Absolutely. It was always the thing with that.
At some point when we're trying to fit aftermarket cockpits or wheel wells or whatever, and there's just it's that thin you can see through it to get it to close up or whatever. So, yeah, don't know. Interesting one, isn't it? So,
as I say, the youth of today will never know the struggle of actually trying to get an F-14 cockpit, Ares F-14 cockpit, 48 scale into the Hasegawa F-14. Of having to thin the sidewalls to literally it's like tracing paper on both parts. Or the other big one as well was, and again, it was Ares putting in the wheel well set, the electronics bays and the cockpit into an F-18 Hornet. Because something's got to give because none of it fits. So you were shaving it right the way down. And then, you know, some of it was that fine that you'd have to take off the entire back wall. And then the part you put in, like the wheel well, would become the back wall.
Yeah.
So, because it was that difficult to fit those in. And as you say, one slip and suddenly you've gone through the sidewall because you've had to thin the sidewalls and you've got a hole in the side of your fuselage. You know, those were the painful days of trying to get all those things in there to do it now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. No. It's so much easier now.
Thing of the past, isn't it? Thank God.
It is. Thank God. Right. Lastly up today, there you go. Spot the aircraft. So there we go.
It's there somewhere.
It's there somewhere. Yeah, it needs a toilet. That's what it's missing, the toilet. So this is the weapons loadout, obviously, for the Venerable Spad or Sky Raider. This is the Zukamori kit. Where's my arrows? There we go. There you go. So if you're into your want everything in a kit, Zukamori's definitely got you covered for that one. Right the way through. Does the weapons come with it this time, or is it still an aftermarket bit?
Do you know what? I don't know, to be honest. I'll have to look at the email. It's going to go up on pre-order anyway for the members if anybody's interested in one. And I will put it up on that, to be honest. But yes, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So yes, there you go. Famous with the stingers on that one. But yes, so this is the AD6 version, or the AH1, as you can see. So it's the sort of later version with this one, wasn't it? The Korean War one, was it? I think. Was it the AD6? Was more that side?
I don't know, actually, because that's dark blue, isn't it? I don't know.
Oh, dark blue. I can't remember.
The AH1 was later than that. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But the AD6, wasn't it Trumpeter did? Because obviously they did a few flavours of them.
They did.
And I'm pretty sure their version, the AD6, was the blue one as well.
It could be. It could be. Because it first kind of appeared around the Korean War, didn't it? Or
first seen in the Korean War, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it did. I don't know if it saw any action in World War II. It was designed around the late part of World War II. Exactly, but I don't think it saw anything. But obviously Korean, and then obviously into the Vietnam War.
I'll tell you.
So
just do a quick bit of Google.
Wasn't the AD version the? I don't know, actually. I can't remember now. I know there was a slight difference between the AD6s and the AH versions and stuff. So I assume it's built around the AH version.
I thought you were an expert on.
To be honest, I'm not, because
I'll tell you what.
I did do one back in the day.
No, the early one was a D.
Oh, right.
Is an A1D.
Right.
And then it went to a A1H, AD6.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Stinger one.
Right.
And then it went to a A1J and an AD7, which was the camo one. So actually,
which is the one I did.
That's the middly one, then, isn't it? An AD6, which is an AH1, which it says on the box. So you say that. I think that's after Korea. Yes. I think.
Very nice. Again, this particular kit, I have done reviews of it back in the day. If you want to have a look for the AH1 version that I did, and again, it's one of those ones where it's beautifully detailed. As you can see, you get everything with this one. They also, I don't know if it must be still available. They did a colour photo etch set for the instrument panel and all the parts on the inside, although Quinta, I copped out and used the Quinta one when I did it.
The thing though, for the size of the aircraft, how small that cockpit is, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it is. It's a massive chunk.
It's one of them things where you get all the stuff and then you put one together and you can't see in it. You can't see anything.
Where's my one? Where's mine?
There, look.
There it is. So I did this one, just trying to see which version I did. So there we go. So yeah, there you go. Oh, so yeah, AD6 AH. So I did the Trumpeter version back in the day.
Yeah, you did.
And again, we went fully to town on this thing and chucked everything at it. But again, very, very nice. It's a classic aircraft. It's, it's what you want. It's big, brute. It's chunky, and it's a brute.
It is, isn't it? Where's yours live now? Where's yours?
Mine is live because it folds up and does fit in my display case. It's in my display case because it's folded up. It does fit in it, which is nice.
You see, folded it up, just wrong.
I know, but I need it to fit my display case.
I know.
So that's why it's folded up. So, but again, the whole point, we spoke about this one at the time when I did it. Yeah, if you want to go full to town and have everything in it, then obviously you're going to go to the Zukamori one every day of the week. Yeah. If you want one that's literally just like a side model like this one, and just have it where it's not too much detail and all the rest of it, then obviously the Trumpeter one. And I know there's accuracy things and everything else. I just think it's a cool aircraft. And again, you can chip it and kick it around a bit and it looks great. So,
yeah, you do, yeah. Yeah, they seen some action, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well used.
Well used, that's what you want. Yeah, definitely. So that's what we did on this one. We gave it a proper well used and faded down look and all the rest of it.
And especially with the exhaust staining down the side.
That's it.
Iconic, isn't it, of a Sky Raider?
It is. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what these plates are, apparently. It stops all the fumes and all the crap going up in the cockpit. Yeah.
How long it took to figure that out?
I don't know, actually. I don't know when they were introduced, but apparently that's what they were for.
Covered in hot oil and crap and out the engine like there was in World War One, weren't it? Really?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, coming down like a a Formula One driver from back in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, very good. But again, members, if you do want to get that one, we've got a pre-order for that kit going up as well. So if you want to grab that one, you can put your name down for that. Obviously, you get a bit of a discount as always on there. Just to finish off then, obviously, PM Store. We've got the remnants of the mini art still 40% off.
Not a lot left at all.
Not a lot.
It is the dregs of the dregs, to be honest, in there.
Yeah.
So, like I say, grab it while you can, because then he's going to obviously go back to normal price, or try another platform to see if anybody wants it. If nobody watches this, we'll see. But it's got to go. So there's that, and I'd say I don't think there's a lot left in ICM at all, to be honest.
No,
I know we sold a few items today that need deleting, which I'll have to go in and do. So there's that, pretty much what's left of ICM. So
this is going to be the end of the 30% off of ICM as well.
It
is.
So
if you want to get that, the same goes really for the AK real colour paints. Hopefully by the end of the month we should have a little bit more information when we'll get the restock of the new stuff.
Just good special offers a minute, because we've got a bit of a couple of new arrivals. The LRD, which is brand new from Thunder. Is in, and obviously the Stewarty tank as well, which is a re-release, which is not the interior one. Nobody gets bogged down with that. But so we're probably going to change all this out anyway by the end of the week, because it's been up a good few weeks now, so that will come down at some point. And if you want an old Airfix Jag, grab one of them, because you can't get a kitty up one for love nor money. So
no,
something's better than nothing.
I was going to say, it's not the best kit in the world, but it's totally buildable. And I think really, if you just go around and sharpen it up a little, like rescribe the panel lines, just give them a little bit of an edge, you can actually turn out something really nice out of that kit.
Yeah, it's not a complete basket case, is it?
No. Funny enough, there's a story to this. I built one for back in the day. It would have been in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I put it up on eBay. Professionally built model and all the rest of it.
As you do.
And like you do. So I took some photos of it, and I put it up on the old interweb there for a 7-day listing. Person bought it. To be honest, I didn't pay mass amounts of money for it. I'd had a lot better successes with other kits that went for really good, strong money. But anyway, sold it, sent it to the customer and all the rest of it. Anyway, they sent it back, saying it wasn't the same one as in the pictures. But it was. It was like, that's the model. They said clearly the one in the picture was a lot better. I thought, harsh. I've had some criticism over the years, but as a professional model maker, you're like, Jesus Christ, I've taken the photos of it, you've put it up there. Anyway, they sent it back saying because it wasn't as described and all the rest of it, that this was clearly a different model that it was and everything else like that. The one shown was a lot better than the one that they got. And that was harsh, stab in the heart that was. Do you know what? I relisted it. Then the next week it went up there and it went for twice the money that I sold it for on the first one. Right. Literally twice the money it was. And the person who bought it sent me a lovely message back saying all the rest of it, saying what a great job I'd done on a truly difficult kit. And I thought, there you go. Talk about chalk and cheese. That's somebody who appreciates model making and somebody who probably should be better off getting die cast or wooden models or something, because clearly they don't appreciate the work that goes into it. So funny how the world goes. So I went from being mortified to that's it. Chicken dinner's on me, kids. So it's a funny old world, but there you go. Never mind, all because of that kit. But anyway, right, we will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. Members, I'll be back with you tomorrow. Obviously, I'll do a little bit of a vlog for you, and you'll get the review of this one. I'll get this one review for you tomorrow up on there, and then I can crack on very nicely with the Apache. Going to working on this one solely this week, just so I can get it into paintwork. I want to get paintwork by the end of the week, so it's all done. So we've still got lots of bits to do. So we've got the weapons bit to do, the rotor head and tail rotor set is to go through next. We get those ones down in, and obviously the bays, need to sort those out, but we can technically paint them after it's been painted anyway. So, but yes, so coming on very, very nicely with that one. Very nice. Right, okay then, if we're all done then, Matt, we all sorted?
Yes.
Happy? Good. Right, we'll leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever you wanted to do. Go over to PM Models, pop over to pmmodelsuk.com as well. We've got all your bits and pieces over there. So if you need anything at all, we will go in. And I will point out, because I only noticed it the other day, I don't know when Andy did it, but if you do go over to the home page now, we've got a new page up. Look.
Oh,
when did you do that?
Oh, God, ages ago.
Well, I never go into this bit on the store, but yeah, so look, that's posh, isn't it?
Nice though, isn't it?
You need the 3D printed stuff up as well.
Well, we didn't have that at the time we did that. I think we did
Oh,
that
right.
last
Oh, is
year.
it that old? Was it last year? I don't know. I never go into that bit. It's the bit where you click home. Normally, I come in just to store. So I bypass the home page. So yes, very nice indeed. But good job. Right, okay then, people. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you all again very soon. Take care. Happy modelling. Bye.
Bye.